February 1959. A team of 9 experienced Soviet hikers led by Igor Dyatlov trekked into the northern Ural Mountains. They were never seen alive again. When searchers finally found their camp, they uncovered a scene of such bizarre horror that it would spark decades of speculation, conspiracy, and fear. This is the story of the Dyatlov Pass Incident. They weren't just any hikers. They were 9 experienced students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnic Institute. Young, fit, and skilled in mountain trekking and skiing. Led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, this group was on what should have been a challenging but manageable winter expedition. One of the last photos ever taken of them shows the group setting up their camp on the mountain slope. They're smiling, focused on their task. There is no hint of the terror that would follow. Weeks later, when the search team finally found their tent, the scene made no sense. It was slashed open from the inside as if they had cut their way out in a frantic rush. Inside, their belongings, their boots, and their warm coats were all left behind, neatly arranged. Leading away from the tent were footprints in the deep snow. The trail told a bizarre story. Some of the prints were made by bare feet, others only in socks. They all pointed in one direction, away from the shelter and into the deadly sub-zero darkness of the Ural night. The search for answers only led to deeper mysteries. The first 5 bodies were found under a large cedar tree about a mile from the tent. They were lightly dressed, some only in their underwear. They had died from hypothermia. Evidence showed they had tried to survive, even building a small fire. It was a tragic but somewhat understandable end. But the final 4 hikers were not found until spring when the snow melted. Their bodies were discovered in a deep ravine further into the woods. Their deaths were not from the cold. Autopsies revealed devastating internal trauma, crushed ribs, fractured skulls, injuries so severe they were compared to a high-speed car crash. Yet bafflingly, there were no external wounds on their bodies. It was as if the force came from within them. To add another layer of horror, one of the women, Lyudmila Dubinina, was found missing her tongue. The strangeness didn't end with the bodies. The mountain they were on, Kolochsyakhl, translates from the local Mansi language as Mountain of the Dead. An ominous name long before this tragedy. And in the weeks after the incident, multiple independent reports surfaced of strange, glowing orange spheres seen in the night sky over the mountains around the time the hikers died. So what could have caused this? Over 60 years of investigation have produced several theories, each with its own believers and skeptics. The leading official explanation is an avalanche. Specifically a slab avalanche, where a dense layer of snow breaks off like a pane of glass. The theory suggests a small slide hit the tent, causing panic but not burying it. This could explain why they cut their way out in a rush. However, investigators at the time noted the slope was not steep enough for a classic avalanche, and no avalanche debris was ever found around the tent. A more subtle scientific theory involves infrasound. This is sound at a frequency too low for humans to hear, but which can induce feelings of dread, panic, and even chest vibrations. Could unique wind patterns over the mountain pass have generated infrasound that night, triggering a blind, irrational terror that made the hikers flee? Then there are the more sensational ideas. ideas. Some point to secret Soviet military tests in the area, suggesting a misplaced explosion or a toxic gas. Others look to folklore whispering about the Yeti or other creatures of the wilderness. While these theories capture the imagination, there is no physical evidence to support them. Perhaps the most compelling explanation is a combination of events. A sudden, frightening noise, perhaps from a small snowslide or the wind, causes the group to panic and flee the tent into the lethal cold. In their state of shock and growing hypothermia, they experience paradoxical undressing, a documented condition where freezing victims confusedly remove their clothes. Some of them, seeking shelter in the ravine, are then tragically caught and crushed by a collapsing shelf of snow, which would explain the horrific internal injuries. This theory ties together the panic, the state of undress, and the mysterious trauma. The truth may be a combination of these ideas or something we haven't yet considered. The case was officially closed, attributing the deaths to a compelling natural force. But for the families and for mystery enthusiasts around the world, the questions remain. What caused such experienced hikers to flee their tent in terror? What was the source of that immense crushing force? The Dyatlov Pass Incident endures not just as a tragedy, but as a stark reminder that even in our modern world, some secrets are still buried in the snow. What do you think happened on Dyatlov Pass? Let me know in the comments below. If you were fascinated by this story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Historiosphere, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next journey into the past.